Hi, thanks for clicking on my video. My name is Alejandra Sofia and this is Star Power Alchemy YouTube. I'm tuning in today to the next 7 days, an astrological view from March 18th, 2019 until March 24th. Yet another powerful week in this evolutionary unfolding that we're all a part of, and we're upon a week of transitioning from the winter into the spring equinox. And with the arrival of the spring equinox, we have a full moon. So here we are ending a season at this very moment of March 18th and beginning a new one, as well as we are in an expansive field as well because of the full moon. So again, the full moon always begins with the new moon. The energetic point, the initiation point, the starting point, the seed point, the new moon on March 6th, 2019, which was almost 2 weeks ago. So with the beginning of this, with this week arriving with, 2 days from now, we're wrapping things up. So there's a feeling of wrapping things up. We're still in the sign of Pisces right now, and then boom, we're gonna literally energetically blast into a season that energetics are rich. The whole 3 months of spring 2019 is rich with, it's really a time to expand yourself out in areas of your energy body, of really you tapping into who you are and filling your life with that. So so here we are right now, and the sun's approaching the equinox point, and in the approach so there's this whole new, we're really in this place of formation of kind of getting ready to do the next thing that we're about to do. So this is a great next few days of continuing to go, work on the things that you need to be working on, clear yourself of the things that need to be cleared. With Pisces, and with the sun in Pisces and Mercury in Pisces right now in a retrograde, it is a time of inward wrapping up on a high level, wrapping up emotional stories that have been holding you down, spending way too much time in depression and isolation, and if you do isolate yourself, it's time to get real with that. Like, even you keep telling yourself like, oh yeah, I know I isolate myself. That's part of the high levelness of right now with Saturn in Capricorn, Mercury in Pisces doing a retrograde, is the opportunities to really help you shift out of those unproductive emotional states. Like, definitely clear out the old story, definitely connect with your emotions, don't avoid your emotions, but there is a sense absolutely that the old victim story, you have to really choose to not be in the victim story and get really real with yourself, honest with yourself, in general for everyone, of like how you're using your energy, how you're using your emotionality, and are you using your emotionality to really come into presence with reality, which is what this week is about. With this clearing of the potential here, the high level potential here is to really step into, like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna choose the things that you're choosing, not spending too much time in negative emotional states, and if any at all, or just learning to catch yourself and fine-tune them, so that you're not spending a whole lot of time in places that are just creative stagnation. So with this week of beginning a new season and expanding into this full moon moment that's really imprinting upon us. That's the thing with the power of this week, is we're getting the seasons, the next 3 months, the energetics of it is getting imprinted upon us. So so it's like a checkpoint, checking where you're at, and preparing for things that you want to be expanding into. So, moving out of isolation and moving into, like, if you're in a hermit time where it's time to be in your workshop working on things, that it's productive, that it's everything being productive, like meditation productive, connecting with yourself productive, like it's producing a connection with yourself. That's the thing. It's staying out of removing yourself from, again, in these negative states of I can't do that, or I feel powerless, or I feel like the world's against me. Or it's really because of the energetics of this week with the sun conjuncting Chiron, with the spring equinox chart, and with the full moon chart. That sun conjuncting Chiron, which is about your energy body in the early degrees of Aries, the sun being at the 1st degree of Aries, and Chiron in Aries, is about filling your channels with your spirit, filling all of yourself. And so yes, it's a real opportunity for healing, healing some big links inside, that maybe things you've been working on, or choosing to get into that lane and drive your car, like get out. Truly, any part of you that's still a passenger in your life, in your chariot. Like we all have a chariot, we all have a chariot where our inner being is in a royal relationship with our spirit and the earth, and our dignity and our divinity, and so that really just means our inner confidence, our inner power, our inner self-connection, our self-love, our self-respect, our self-worth, right? That is the key royal ground to truly restore its self-worth. And a lack of self-worth is a huge problem. So these stories that are holding, or belief systems or feelings that are holding a lack of self-worth, it's a really powerful season that we're heading into with this week of really springboarding literally into new states, new activities, new things that are truly serving to turn your situation around, and whatever that is, choosing new actions to take that are positive, that are always positive. So there's so many choices, depending on what it is, there's so many choices in that. So like your morning action activities, like what do you do in the morning, like truly choosing things that are helping to activate you on a positive level, new business actions, new relationship actions, of how you want to be in relationship, and with fairness and equality, with your true self really being there, your truth being essential to be on the table, listening to somebody else's truth. So your family as well, new actions to take with family, and developing these compassion and empathy and all the things. It's just a really dynamic for each person, and it's personal for each person, but we're all really sharing the common themes, right, of life and living life on earth. So with this week, we have of the spring equinox and the full moon, spring equinox, full moon, we have two major conjunctions, and that's the sun coming into conjunction with Chiron that I just mentioned, and then Mercury retrograding back to Neptune, making its second conjunction to Neptune, stationing there, holding it down right there next to Neptune for 4 days. Then it moves direct next week on the 28th. And so I'll get more into that next week. But to really help prompt this situation, Mercury coming back to Neptune in its own sign of Pisces, we all have an opportunity to really open up a gateway, a portal, a connection inside of us that's tapping us deep into our own dream. Drop past the vagueness, drop past where you're not being clear, and get clear with yourself, and use Aries to get clear with yourself and your dreams and who you are and what you want, and opening up your channels of Pisces. The thing with Pisces is it really wants to fully be here emotionally. It wants connection. It doesn't want to be caught in any kind of over callousness, where the callousness to really feeling your life. I think there are places to callous now that I've been listening very much to David Goggins. If you haven't heard of him, David Goggins, Goggins, I recommend looking him up, because I'm appreciating him using really speaking to callousing yourself in areas that are like, in my interpretation of what he's saying, my synopsis of what he's saying is just like to callous those places that are just keep leading you down the wrong roads. So I'm really appreciating that, and it's helped me. His shift in viewpoint based on his reality and his experience with reality and who he is and becoming who he is has really offered a rich perspective in my journey, my understanding of astrology, the life streams, and how to work with these living energies positively. For everyone, for ourselves. So if something's truly positive for us, it's going to serve. It's going to serve other people. It's going to serve the earth. It serves to come to truth with yourself. It serves to come to arrive and be fully yourself. It serves to choose your creativity and not let society and the norms of society dictate your creativity. But you understanding, or an individual choosing to see that, like, wow, this is where I'm still letting that old world imprint upon me, these where I'm not standing in my power. So that's what this week we're in is really choosing to step into your power on another level. Shift your habits, shift in from stagnation into a positive state. That's the way to use this week really well, and also in getting real and using this powerful Mercury-Neptune conjunction that's going to just stay there. Is it may make you uncomfortable. You might find levels of discomfort in feeling those feelings, but they're essential to getting to the deeper layers of your soul. So of your art. Neptune's the artist. We all have art inside of us, and if we're living scripted lives, if we're not living on our terms, like, with the creative energies of just really being in our human bodies as these multi-dimensional beings, and living with a certain level of spontaneity, living with a certain amount of structure, living that's good and essential. And this is really about a deep restoration project that is on a human metaphysical level, to a restoration project to return us to a true normalcy, that's in a normalcy that is not a disempowerment normalcy, a dumbed down normalcy, a distorted normalcy, a mediocre normalcy, the normalcy of being extraordinary, right? The normalcy of being magnificent, the normalcy of being a living God, of being the normalcy of activating your superpowers because you know who you are and you know what you're capable of, through the power of your own mind, and no matter what and no matter who. So my camera just fell back and I caught it. Did you see that? So really really powerful week, and that being the big, this choice with Aries being absolutely getting clear with your choices, what you're choosing every moment, and finding that vital edge every moment. Imagine that. Imagine being so awake within yourself and hearing, that's one of the things that's happening to me, is that I feel like some of the things that I'm doing, like taking cold water shower therapies, or cold water shower, sorry, my camera almost fell back again, because there's a little spring wind. Doing cold water therapy and taking cold showers every morning is changing my life and has changed my life. It's just what it's doing to my physiology, what it's doing to my state of mind. It's toughening me up. I could go on and on about that in a way that I feel like could be really encouraging and help people, but my point being is that's a positive action I'm taking no matter what. I choose it every morning, and it doesn't matter how cold it is outside, and it's getting a little warmer, but anyway, it's in terms of March, but those kinds of positive actions, get up and the activating your muscles, activating your breath, activating your ability to catch yourself if you're thinking negatively about yourself or something that's just dragging your energy down, and then start high level high-level positive affirmations. I'm magnificent, I'm invincible, I'm resilient, I'm activating my gifts, talents, and potentials. I'm activating my gift, talents, and capabilities to just whatever those mantras are, whatever those positive, or whatever you want to call them, mantras, or just really positive evolutionary movement forward ways to align and synchronize your emotions and your thoughts on positive action and for positive results, for positive outcomes. And that is I believe the true spirit of this earth. And that requires acceptance. So that requires, yes, feeling the hardships and all the levels of hardship. I mean, there's so much hardship, and what those hardships are personally and collectively, and turning those hardships, turning tragedy towards positive directions. And I really believe that that's true for all of us. And so just to wrap up this recording, with Mars in the sign of Taurus, and then doing an in conjunction, it's quincunxing Jupiter and Sag this week. It is about that aspect of 150 degrees apart, that Mars is in Taurus and an earth sign, and then Jupiter's in its own side, expansive in a quincunx. It is about there's a way in which keep moving in those new directions. Trust yourself, listen to yourself, feel where your excitement go. Mars wants to take you in those directions, and you got to work with these sides together. Like, yeah, be practical and be experimental, be practical and do something, go into a new direction, and just really tap in and tune into what your insides are telling you to do, while you're also, Saturn in Capricorn, listening to positive motivational, things that uplift you, people that inspire you, mentoring, and always having those people that you admire and the strategies that they're implementing, but then personalizing it, because we have to individuate. We can't be other people. We have to just take on what we admire and be like, okay, there's some wisdom right there that I have to learn from, and how did they do it, because this is about success and fulfillment. And I really believe that if you don't have fulfillment, but you have societal success, that's not true success. And success is mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. It's an integral success, and that is compassionate, empathetic. And I believe too that as more and more people align themselves with their heart, align themselves and synchronize themselves with their true selves, that we're going to really find ourselves. And inside of finding ourselves are these jewels of ecology and environmentalism and activism on all kinds of levels, that is about restoring Earth to a beautiful sanity, a sanity and sanctity of living in connection, and it is a utopian ideal, and I believe in it. It's an eco-utopian ideal, and I believe that it lives in us, in the businesses that we want to create inside of us, as each one of us gains more courage and more freedom, and these are the keys to freedom. These are the keys to happiness. These are the keys to self-empowerment. And because the sun's coming into conjunction with Chiron this week, this is what it's all about. You want the keys? Here they are. And so it's really finding those keys and applying those keys to your life and to your daily action. And there we go. And so that's a wrap. Again, my name is Alejandra Sofia. If you'd like a reading to really get a clear idea of where all this is activating your blueprint, email me at starpoweralchemy@gmail.com. Check out my previous videos on the Pisces new moon, as well as through the 12 signs, and the Chiron and Aries video. I'll click all that into the description. And I'm offering a Libra full moon spring equinox online event for 2 hours on March 20th. If you're interested, you can click on that as well. It's my Facebook event. It's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific time, and you can learn more about that. Please subscribe, and thanks for your time. Much love.